No.
The people looked for this little boy in this cornfield, and when they found him, that was quite a bit later. He said he was hungry, and they had given him. He found a nest with eggs. That's all I know.
Okay,
And
let's.
in the meantime, my mother took the broom and was chasing old man Philip, his name was, around the yard because when he hit the old lady, she ran off the step and she fell. And Mom came with a broom after him and was hitting him, and they ran in a circle. She ran with the broom around the circle. Yeah.
Was that, now the boy being lost and Philip being chased around, that were two different times.
No, it was the same time. The Philip.
Same day, or?
The same day. She fell on the floor because he beat her up.
And the same time when the boy was lost in the cornfield.
They were looking then for the boy.
Okay.
And the boy was in the cornfield. The cornfield was the side of the house on that side.
Let's go to you and your sisters. Were you close? Who was your favorite sister?
Well, anyway, my mother was running around old Philip with the broom.
Let's stop about Philip. Let's go back to
Philip. And then
where was Mary when your mother was chasing Philip?
She was, we were kids. We were hustled to the side.
So
anyway.
What did you and Mary like to do? You remember playing with Mary?
Yeah, there was a little creek that went from one place all the way down to the reservoir. We used to play in the creek.
What did you play?
And when Philip, after he got away from Mom,
Yeah.
he got dressed, and somebody, I don't know who, took him in a car, and he went to Boston, up to one of the whatever the states were above us. We were in Amra, that's
Pennsylvania,
and then the next state,
New York
and
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Yeah, he had relatives in Massachusetts, so he stayed up there for quite a while.
Okay.
Till this toned down.
Okay, so let's go back again. We're going to talk about Mary, you, Katie, and Olga.
We used to play in the water.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's all you remember?
Well, there's
Did you
in
get
the back of the house.
Did you get older? How old were you when you played in the water?
Not too much, kids.
Kids,
young,
okay.
Young.
So what happened when you were teenagers? Who got the first car?
Who got the first
car? Who bought the first car? How'd you get around?
Pop.
Took you?
Pop bought a convertible two-seater.
Okay.
And he used to park it up in the Lasowskis in the milkman's barn, because it was open, two-seater convertible. Now, his daughters were farm girls, and Mom used to hire them to clean her shop.
Okay.
And in the front of Mom's house was Uncle Joe. He had a little room in there, and his wife. And the kitchen stove was there. Mom had a house.
Okay, let's say, so we got a car, so Grandpa, your father, got a two-seater convertible.
Yeah.
How did he take all the kids in the two-seater convertible?
I don't think it was that simple. It just
Must have been pretty complicated. So how did he do that? Did he take you one at a time? Did you go somewhere?
No. He had to go to Allentown with this car and pick up groceries for Mom. And this was Easter time. So there had to be a ham, there had to be different things, yeah. That's all I remember on that part.
Okay. Now, wasn't there an Armrod down the road if you came out of your house and you went to the left? Wasn't there a big park down there with a dance floor? Armrod Park or something? They used to have a band in the woods there at the end, at the corner.
No, that's already, no, that's a different story.
Okay, so let's go back. What was in Armrod? Where did you go? You went to school. Where'd you go to school?
Oh, yeah, next door to, Kowalczyk was first.
Okay.
And she had all those kids, and
yes.
And we were next to her. We had the store,
So where was the school?
Huh?
School. Where did you go to school?
Oh, no, wait. That's another story.
Well, that's the story you want to hear.
We went back from from our house to, there was a family that had one daughter, and she and her father and mother lived next door, and then down from there was another house. They used to be, I forget the name. Anyway, there was another big family, Charlie something's family, her name was George, her last name, and his was Charlie George or something.
You would have to be going up the hill from the Armrod house.
No, this was that way. And from this side, we went across the, where the kids went to school. They had to cross the street all the way down to the highway and then walk to south to the school.
And then you used to tell me a story that you walked to school and it was almost 2 miles. And then you would tell me the story that in the wintertime you did it without shoes and it was uphill both ways.
No, I didn't remember that.
So why don't you tell me, how did you guys get to school? Did you walk?
We walked to school.
Okay, now that's...
Through, by the houses, all the kids get together and keep walking toward the street. And when we got to the street, to the main street, there was a row of homes. They're little houses, white houses, and as you go down the road to the school.
Okay, now let's talk about that. Do you remember as you went to school, were there 8 kids in a row? Would you all go to school together?
Half
of us, okay.
4 of us.
So who was in the half? Mary?
Annie, Katie, Olga.
And
That's
Stevie wasn't, he wasn't. So the boys went to different schools.
Boys weren't there yet.
They weren't there. Okay, so tell me about going to school.
Well, we just walked through through those, there was a railroad track, there was a reservoir, you walked around the reservoir, crossed the railroad track to the road, and then walked down the road to the school.
Were you all in the same room together?
There were 2 rooms.
2 rooms. Okay. Tell me about who was in. Which one of you were in the rooms?
You know, we had a man principal. He was pretty sharp.
Why was he sharp?
Yelling, you know, with a pointer. He had a pointer, and he'd point. You sit there. You sit.
Okay.
And that's about it. I can't tell you any more than that.
Did you learn anything?
Huh?
Did you learn anything?
See, that's why I'm so dumb.
So he just.
All right, I'll tell you, when we got out of school, my mother used to send us to the Ukraine